Welcome to the Advice Show, media with the common sense approach. So some news just came out that Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74. Now, Muhammad Ali was a champion in the ring and even more of a champion outside of the ring. Let's go roll the clip.
From Parkinson's disease since being diagnosed in the 1980s, had been hospitalized with various ailments in the last few years, most recently this past week with respiratory issues complicated by his Parkinson's, a final battle the heavyweight champ was unable to overcome. He was born Cassius Clay in Louisville, Kentucky in 1942, beginning to box at the age of 12. He won an Olympic gold medal at the 1960 Games and went on to become a three-time heavyweight champion, brash and at times outrageous, boasting about his ability to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee, calling himself the greatest. And so many agreed, making him one of the most famous people on the planet. He joined the Nation of Islam in 1964 and changed his name to Muhammad Ali, defending his title against all comers until his conscientious objection to the Vietnam War and his refusal to be drafted cost him his title. He'd win it back 2 more times in his career, along the way fighting those famous battles with Frazier and Foreman, solidifying himself as a legend. In his later years, though weakened by Parkinson's, visibly trembling, he lit the cauldron of the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, another iconic moment. Very frail in recent years, he nonetheless continued to make public appearances, always in good spirits. He is survived by his wife Lonnie and 9 children. Again, the sad word tonight from Arizona, Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74.
I'm knocking out all bones. If you get too small, I'll knock you out.
Even if he said so himself, nobody argued. Always either floating like a butterfly or stinging like a bee, and often at the same time, Muhammad Ali learned early on from a wrestler called Gorgeous George that boxing isn't just a sport, it's show business.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I have tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. Bad, ain't it? Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean I make medicine sick.
Born in Kentucky in 1942, the Louisville Lip, as he became known, first climbed into the ring as Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. He won Olympic gold in 1960, and 4 years later knocked out Sonny Liston to become world champion. But his reign was cut short. Having joined the Nation of Islam, Clay, now known as Ali, was stripped of his title for refusing to obey a Vietnam War draft on religious grounds. He spent 3 years in boxing exile. By the time Ali came back to the ring, Joe Frazier was the new champion. So began arguably the greatest era in heavyweight boxing. There was never any love lost between them. The pair met 3 times between 1971 and 1975, the first and last bouts still regarded as 2 of the finest fights in the sport's history. A win apiece, they climaxed with the thriller in Manila. The brutality of the last encounter, staged in the searing heat of the Philippine capital, was staggering. Ali reportedly saying afterwards he felt close to death, but he still won the bout. Frazier eventually withdrawn after the 14th round by his trainer. The fights captured the world's imagination at a time when television was becoming increasingly international. Ali was now a global icon thanks to a bout that will forever be known as the Rumble in the Jungle. The 1974 fight with George Foreman in Zaire has achieved near mythical status. The lead-up became a celebration of black culture, while the fight itself showed off Ali's genius in the ring, as the 32-year-old Ali beat the 25-year-old and previously undefeated world heavyweight champion Foreman.
Muhammad Ali, George Foreman in Kinshasa, I celebrated because it was one of the good things that have come out of Africa. It was famous. We celebrated, both of us, because a lot of times there was a bridge for the world, and we were one who built that bridge to see what Africa truly is like.
Muhammad Ali retired in 1981. His record of 56 wins from 61 fights came at a price. Diagnosed with Parkinson's disease 3 years later, a condition more susceptible to those who've taken repeated blows to the head. Undeterred, Ali devoted the rest of his life to humanitarian causes, from negotiating the release of US hostages in Iraq to raising millions for charity. With his failing health in recent years, his public appearances became less frequent. However, he remained a hero to a generation of people who had never seen him fight. Such was the power and charisma of the man. Away from the limelight, he was married 4 times and had 9 children. Ali boxed at a time when the entire planet knew the name of the world heavyweight champion. He brought a grace and beauty the sport had never seen before. A poet, a champion, a legend.